I thank the Hampton Beach Commission for having the foresight to have this particular summit. I think this is one of the best things that has probably happened in the last 4 or 5 years of this project. I'm not going to reiterate everything that I feel should happen at the beach because, as you know, my involvement has been heavy and I keep you here for the afternoon. I don't think that's your intent. I can say that most of the failings are in the beach master plan, and I will add a few things. One of the problems that we have hit is several vacant pieces of property. And how do you go about getting the right business on that piece of property? Now, if somebody wants to rebuild, that's something different. Talking about those that are actually vacant. I suggest that you try something that was tried in Stamford, Connecticut, Greenwich, Connecticut, Salisbury, North Carolina. They decided what level of business and what type of business they wanted at the beach. They then went and said what businesses fit into this category. And they sent a personal invitation, not through a real estate company, but directly to the CEO of those chosen businesses. The result was phenomenal. They ended up with the restaurants they wanted. They ended up at the level of restaurant that they wanted. They ended up with, which we aren't dealing with, but the corporate headquarters that they wanted. You will, like everything, have a certain amount of refusals, so your list has to be quite long. One of the problems that we kept on saying was that we wanted to get rid of the garage door fronts. And Old Greenwich, Connecticut, and what they did there is an example. You decide what you want your storefronts to be. Do you want them buried the way they are now, with practically anything? Or do you want to say, here is a requirement we're going to stick to? In the case of Old Greenwich, they said, we want all of our fronts of the buildings to be white with black shutters, and signs had to be black with white or gold. We don't have to be that strict, but it's something that you have to think about. That in itself brings in more people to the beach. Traffic is a hard thing to solve, especially if we're going to stay with the way the beach is today. I can only think of one thing to add, and that is that at the entrance to Church Street, the entrance to Route 101, put a half a circle in so that you don't have cars going to a stop sign and stopping, or one truck going to a stop sign and stopping, and everything else backed up on Ocean Boulevard. Let the heavier traffic going north and then into 101 merge with the traffic that's coming south on Ocean Boulevard. Another thing that you have to look at, which I tried to get through to the group that originally formed the master plan, and I succeeded, is that you have to look at the level of business that you want. Do you want what we have now? That's the master plan now. Do you want one level up? There are two ways of getting one level up. One way was refused completely, and I agree it should have been. and that was for the town to take over the beach and to sell the beach to the next level. But the other way is to bring in 4 or 5 of the next level businesses, if they are successful. And if they aren't successful, you're stuck with what you have. But if they are successful, you will find others that will follow, that will offer actually larger dollars for the pieces of property than they're actually worth. Dollars that storefronts like the garage door can't refuse. And you can end up with a changed beach that way, if that's what you want. 2 other alternatives, initiated the same way. Larger buildings, I'm not in favor of that. It's going to put shade on the beach. We want to use the beach. And condominiums, they kind of take over the business area. And I think we do want the business area. I do think we want the tourists to come in, even though they generate a large tax base. I thank you.